Church Lady is in. Time to shine. They're in the gate. And they're off. Alaramo and Willie T, also joined by Happy as a Clam in between horses. With Love has plenty of early pace, but is just off them as Time to Shine moves up outside of her. At the back of the field is Church Lady. So it's Happy as a Clam narrowly, Willa T along the rail, and Time to Shine third into the clubhouse turn. Hector Barrios has With Love tucked in along the inside, 2 lengths off the battle up top. Then Alaramo's second to last, and Church Lady is just outside of her. 6 lengths covers them onto the back stretch. And it's Happy as a Clam, leading by 3/4 of a length to Willa T. Time to Shine Red Silk's third, and With Love down at the rail. Then comes Church Lady racing in fifth, and she is now 4 lengths off the lead, 1.5 lengths to Alaramo. Happy as a Clam has been in front throughout. There's room at the rail for Willa T, who tries to go after her now. Happy as a Clam responds to that bid and spurts clear by 2. Time to Shine now takes second. Willa T is just inside of her, and Willa T coming right back for more. So Happy as a Clam tried to fend her off, but Willa T has taken the lead at the top of the stretch, and it's Willa T in front. Happy as a Clam dropping out. Here's With Love now just looking for room, angling out to take a crack at Willa T. Willa T 1.5 lengths to With Love close to home. It's Willa T, With Love trying to bear down. With Love on the outside, or Willa T With Love. And Willa T, that's too close to call. Very close between With Love and Willa T. Time to Shine finished third, close for fourth. We're in the gate. And they're off in the Tokyo City Cup Stakes. Pridman is sprinting out for the early lead. Pony Express comes through on the inside. These two have sped clear of Mining District, and Gaming, who was in a tad tight as the gate opened, is at the back of the field. Around the first turn, and it will be Pony Express to set the pace with Pridman right off his flank. 3.5 more back to Mining District in third, and then 2 to Gaming. 6 furlongs to run. Umberto Rispoli and Pony Express lead by 1/2 length. Juan Hernandez and Pridman second. Now it's 6 lengths back to Mining District, and Gaming inching up outside of him. 4.5 furlongs to go. And Pony Express, the controlling speed, leads it just under 1 length to Pridman. Now it's 8 lengths back to Gaming in third and Mining District. No change in the running order. Pony Express remains the target to the 3/8 pole. Pridman 3/4 back. Hernandez asks him to get closer, second. Gap of almost 10 to Gaming by himself in third, and then Mining District. Passing the 5/16 mark. Pony Express starts to shake loose now. Opens up more than 2 lengths on Pridman. Another 1/2 dozen to Gaming in third. They're at the top of the stretch, and Pony Express with a 4-length lead. Pridman trying his best second, followed by Gaming in third. Mid-stretch, Pony Express in front by 4 lengths. Pridman is giving it his all and taking a final crack at him, and here he comes. Here comes Pridman on the outside, and Pridman runs down Pony Express to win the Tokyo City Cup Stakes. Gaming finished third. The third, no changes. Post time in 24 minutes. We're in the gate. And they're off. Blacksmith blasts out of the gate. Acknowledge Me Please matches strides with him, and those two speed 2 lengths clear of Rio Grande in third. On the outside, Easy Company a close-up fourth and pretty eager to get closer, and another 2 back to Postmodern. Acknowledge Me Please, with the most speed to the half-mile pole. Has it a length and a half to Blacksmith. Down at the rail, Postmodern is inching into contention as they move toward the 3/8 pole. Rio Grande is now a clear-cut second. Blacksmith on the outside, third. Postmodern, fourth. Easy Company has lost ground. They've passed the 3/8 mark. Acknowledge Me Please, and Antonio Fresu in charge. A 2.5 length advantage on Rio Grande. Blacksmith pushed along third. At the rail, Postmodern, 4 lengths off them and 2 clear of Easy Company. They turn for home. Acknowledge Me Please with a big lead. Blacksmith finding his best ride and takes up the chase with 1 furlong to go, and Rio Grande is in third. Coming to the 16th pole, Acknowledge Me Please by 3.5 lengths. Blacksmith is chasing, but he's still 3 behind. Acknowledge Me Please, sharp in victory. Blacksmith pulled within a length late. Rio Grande a distant third. In. And they're off into the hall, and Donata, the first 2 out of the gate. 2 more lengths back to Magnificat in third. Then Sweet Gem and Nico at the back. 5 lengths covers the field. The leader is into the hall, and the favorite just in front. Now Donata comes through, and Donata pokes her head in front of into the hall. 2 more back to Magnificat, well spotted third. Sweet Gem at the rail, and Nico still a compact field that heads with 3.5 furlongs to go. And now into the hall. Gets a narrow advantage over Donata. Magnificat 3 wide, just a length off the new leader. Sweet Gem. Nico is on the outside in the blue. Will have to go 4 wide. They have a 1/4 mile to go. Hector Berrios sitting chilly on into the hall as Magnificat moves into second. Then Donata in third. Nico on the outside. They're coming to the 8th pole. Into the hall. Ask the question now. Magnificat is posing a threat on the outside. It's into the hall and Magnificat into the hall. Magnificat on the outside just in front, and Magnificat runs down into the hall. Nico was 7 lengths back in third. Next, the 5th, it's the Grade 2 Twilight Derby. It also is the first leg of the $2 Pick 6 and the $3 All-Turf Pick 3 with a 15% player-friendly takeout. They'll be at the gate in 26 minutes. And they're off in the Twilight Derby. Even beginning. September 64 is going out for the lead. Dameron is up close. Scipio under a tight hold through the stretch the first time. And Tescor is just 2 lengths off the lead. Maz, guided over to the rail, gallops along last. September 64 will be the pace setter, with Scipio in second and Dameron tucked in along the rail in third. Tescor backs off fourth, 4 lengths off the lead, and another 4 back to Maz. The pace is sensible for September 64, who's opened it up to almost 3. Scipio is second, a half length clear of Dameron. Then Juan Hernandez and Tescor biding their time, 4 lengths off the pace, and another 2 back to Maz. No change in the running order. They're heading to the half-mile pole in the Twilight Derby. Behind September 64, who leads a length and a half. Scipio clearly second. At the rail, Dameron holding his own in third. Then Tescor, now just 3 lengths off the lead, and still 2 to Maz. Moving into the far turn, and it's September 64. Now trying to sprint away. Suddenly, Scipio comes under a ride in second. Tescore marching up extreme outside. Namarone has saved every inch of ground, and he's got room on the inside. As the field turns for home, Namarone cuts the corner and takes the lead. Tescore out in the center of the course is closing stoutly now. Maz has surfaced through a narrow opening on the rail, but Tescore takes command in the final stages, and it will be Tescore in the Twilight Derby. Handwritten to a 2.5 length win. Maz a good second. Namarone was third. As Tescore wins the Twilight Derby, it's official. They're in the gate. And they're off. Tougher than the rest. Broke out very alertly. Last call, Zonlo on the outside, up to take the lead and drop him. Red Blinkers moves up willingly now, and he's on even terms with last call, Zonlo. Tapalo is fourth, just 2.5 or so off the pace. Then comes Run Carry, 1.5 lengths to Cody Boy, and Don't Fly Standby. They pass the half-mile pole, and it's last call, Zonlo on the outside, dueling with Drop 'em. They're stride for stride coming to the 3/8 pole. Drop him on the inside, and Kyle Frey. Last call, Zonlo and Antonio Fresu. It's a gap of 4. Tapalo is down on the inside, a joint third coming to the quarter pole. And in behind him comes Run Carey, who's losing ground around that far turn there at the top of the stretch. And it's Drop him on the inside just in front. Last call, Zonlo. Tapalo is trying to get to the top pair. Down on the inside, Cody Boy, 16th pole. Drop him opens up 1.5 lengths close to home, and Drop him is too good. Drop 'em prevails by 2. Last call, Zonlo second. Don't Fly Standby third. Tapalo fourth. The Cherry Tree, presented by the Oak Tree Racing Association, went to Peter Jasmine of Anaheim, California. Congratulations, Peter Jasmine. You are the in the gate. And they're off. Lunar Impact was off last. Spicy Bug first out of the gate. Here's I'm About to Go and No Other Like You. 3 of them vying for command. Lunar Impact has made it into fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. She's followed by Antifona and 2 more back to Miss Lizzie, who's already 8 lengths off the speed. No Other Like You and I'm About to Go. Those 2 stride for stride, with No Other Like You getting a narrow advantage down the hill. It's another 3.5 back to Spicy Bug in third. At the rail, Lunar Impact is fourth and 4 off them, inching closer and now moving up nicely in between horses. There goes Lunar Impact with a decisive move coming to the quarter pole. And just behind her, Antifona, Miss Lizzie trying to rally while extremely wide. Top of the stretch, Lunar Impact, No Other Like You. Head and head coming to the 8th pole. Antifona's between 2. Now on the outside, Spicy Bug is head and head with Lunar Impact. Miss Lizzie, 3 back third. It's Spicy Bug and Ricky Gonzalez to win it by almost 2 lengths. Extremely close photo between Miss Lizzie and the Lunar Impact to complete the exacta. Dress rehearsal is very fast. Here's Rousing Jewel in the center, vying for command, and Chirpina Pasadena comes through on the rail, 3 of them across the track. Then Misty Dancer on the outside of Rose of Jericho. Extreme outside, Dancing Cat in the Lyman Blue is trying to get into the race. Then comes Divine Marina, racing on the inside of Misty Dancer now. Misty Dancer 6 lengths off the pace. Riders Candy is passing some horses in a hurry all the way up now to be a joint 4th. And at the back of the field is a Rousing Babe. They're midway on the far turn. And in between horses, Rousing Jewel joined by Dancing Cat, Chopina Pasadena down at the rail. Now 4 more back to Rose of Jericho in 4th. They're followed by Riders Candy, top of the stretch, and Rousing Jewel has opened up. Rose of Jericho trying to rally far outside. A Rousing Babe has come alive in a big way, trying to get right into the race. 16th pole, Rousing Jewel in charge and home free. Another for Antonio Fresu as Rousing Jewel clobbers him. Second goes to a Rousing Babe for a Rousing Exacta. Then it was Dancing Cat and Rose of Jericho. Next, the 9th, $5 late double wagering. Put it in the 10th, scratch number 1, Princessa. Then quickly, Lobdell Lake to the outside. They're all in line. And they're off. Last Call Paul is quick out of the gate. One Big Smile is up close too. There are several of them vying for command, however. And on the outside, Self-Sufficient is now taking the lead. So it's Self-Sufficient in front as they run down the back stretch. Targarius is racing in between horses. Last Call Paul at the rail. Ario is racing one from the outside. 3 more back to One Big Smile, who races on the inside of 6 Hot Grands. Down on the inside, it's Lucky's Loaded, who has about 6 lengths to make up at this stage. Followed by No More Ding Dongs. Lobdell Lake inches up outside of that pair. It's another 3 lengths back to Y'all Come, who's down, trying to pass some horses, 12 lengths off the pace. Outside of that one is Finn Cairn. Kitten in charge is next. A gap of 3 to Formidable Threat, and Hot Goblin is at the back of the field. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go, and the lead belongs to Self-Sufficient, who's been prominent throughout. Last Call Paul is in second. 4 lengths back. Y'all Come continues to make headway at the rail. It's Self-Sufficient, too strong. Self-Sufficient wins by 3.5. Last Call Paul was second, in front of Y'all Come third, and No More Ding Dongs finish 4th. In the gate. And they're off. Maya Kama was out alertly. Tina Turner flashing sharp early, speed 2. Nancy Griffith comes away in third, and now here's Say Bella. And Say Bella comes swiftly along the inside to take the lead. Tina Turner is now in second. Another 2 back to Maya Kama, well spotted third. At the rail, Blue Wildcat with Garden Party next. 2 more lengths to Nancy Griffith, and back on track is more than a dozen lengths off the pace. Down the hill, chasing Sabella, who leads at a length and a half, tracked intently by Tina Turner second. Then comes Maya Kama and Garden Party. Garden Party moves up to claim third. Nancy Griffith is just outside of her. Will have to go pretty wide. And then comes Blue Wildcat, 3 clear of back on track, top of the stretch, Sabella. Tina Turner on the outside. Tina Turner right to her. Just behind them, Maya Kama looking for a seam, and she's angling out for the final 1/8 of a mile. Tina Turner, the leader. Maya Kama in pursuit, as is Garden Party. Tina Turner clinging to a 2-length lead close to home, and the queen of rock and roll wins again, Tina Turner. Maya Kama's second, a nose in front of Garden Party, and then it's a photo for 4th and 5th between Blue Wildcat and Nancy Griffith.
Hi, everybody, and happy closing day to all of you from all of us here at the Great Race Place. Delighted that you decided to join us on Sunday. Closing day means mandatory payouts in all the pools, the Pick Six, both Pick Fives, Coast to Coast Pick Five, the new Sunset Six wager. So everything must go, and it's a perfect day to have a professional horse player as our seminar guest. He's been a pro for at least 3 decades that I know of. He lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, playing the horses exclusively, I should say, for many, many years, and he still continues to do it. He's going to give us some wisdom today, not only about today's card, but also about the Breeders' Cup. His name, Duke Matties. Duke, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Thanks, TQ.
It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
You did the work, I know that, for today, but you're also doing the work for the Breeders' Cup. So let's just kind of talk generally about the Breeders' Cup. It's a big day, big pools, kind of a once-in-a-lifetime type of chance to make a big score. How much more emphasis do you place on the Breeders' Cup? In other words, have you started to look at the fields already? Have you started to think about how you're going to wager on the different races?
I don't have wagers set up yet because we don't have post positions and stuff like that. But I have looked at Friday's card, the 2-year-olds, and done some trip handicapping, watching a lot of European babies run on grass, which is interesting because they run mostly straight, so they got to go around turns over here. So it's going to be a little different. It's difficult, but you got to put the time in. You got to do the work, and if you don't, you're so far behind.
Correct. Yeah. Almost every day you got to look at a race if you really want to attack the 2-day card, aggressively and successfully.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? You only got to hit 1 or 2 on those days because there's so many opportunities. Like last year, I gave out a horse that ended up paying $70-some on a podcast. I mean, you just don't know what the odds are going to be.
Correct. I mean, that's what makes it so difficult.
Yeah. You get big overlays on days like that.
Speaking of which, you're going to do something new this year, Duke, that we're looking on screen, and we're also looking at your resume. Let's kind of look at your resume first. Professional horse player for over 25 years, no other source of income. The 2024 NHC Hall of Fame recipient. You were 4th in the 2012 Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge Tournament. You're also 4th in the 2016 NHC for another $100,000. I think that's the year your brother won the NHC as well. What are you doing exclusively the day before Breeders' Cup, October 30th, regarding the Breeders' Cup?
So this year I decided to do my own, what I would call it's a live broadcast of me going over Breeders' Cup races, betting opportunities, strategies, showing some replays, some trips, and trying to teach people what to look for and how to pick out races that they can make scores on. So I'm sharing this with the public this year. I've had a little bit of interest so far. I'm hoping to get more after this show. I think I will. It's
like a strategy session.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna give you guys ideas of what you should look for, what you can do. Maybe put up some tickets. Things like that, I haven't got it all dialed in yet, but I got it pretty much how I want to do it. And not only that, I'm sending emails out to anybody that signs up for their suggestions of what they want to see, what they want to hear, so I'm going to try to do that too. So
DukesPicks.com is the website, DukesPicks.com. They can go there and kind of register and sign up. And the general public should know, Duke, it's not just going to be your opinion, but I know in the past, you and your brother have had access to clockers from basically all around the country and maybe even all around the world to get their input as well when you make your final wagering decisions.
Yeah, and I'm going to share that too if I get a chance. Just got to hope the information's there by Thursday. So that's the only thing.
I think it will be 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's pretty late back east and the day before the Breeders' Cup. You should have all the information. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. DukesPicks.com. How long do you think the webinar/podcast might last? Couple hours?
Probably 2 hours. I slated for an hour and a half, but you know how that goes. It's probably going to run long. Once you get talking about these races, it seems like, time just goes by in a second.
It's the only time of the year, Duke, where you're going to get champions, so to speak, at double-digit odds. There are going to be favorites, but there's going to be really nice, talented horses. We've seen it every year. You talked about your $77 winner last year. There are going to be big-priced horses who are never going to be those odds again, which is what makes betting the Breeders' Cup so enticing and so lucrative.
Yeah, no doubt. You might even have horses that you love that go off 4 or 5 to 1. That's the great thing about the Breeders' Cup, and you see that in the betting challenge. The people, they take big shots on 5 to 1 shots. They bet their whole bankroll on it. I'm not an all-in type guy, but I mean, you can do lots of things. You can bet doubles, you can bet pick threes, you can single horses and pick fives and pick fours, and there's so many great opportunities on those 2 days. You got to take advantage.
Not only do you have great opportunities over the 2-day Breeders' Cup Championship event, which will be next Friday and Saturday at Breeders' Cup, did you take a look at today's card, 10-race card, filled with big fields and also plenty of great betting opportunities? We're going to find out exactly who Duke likes on today's 10-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Mirabati and get the scratches on today's closing day card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon. Welcome to closing day at Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place, where the track is fast and the turf course is firm. All pools must pay out today. Here are the early changes. In the first, just a blinker note. Race 2, scratch number 1, Austonian. In race 3, we have a blinker note. In the fourth, start of the middle, pick 4. Scratch number 2, Tis Grace. Race 5, program scratches of 1, 12, 13, and 14, but you can also scratch number 8, Momo's Kiddo. Pick 6 starts with the 5th. It's a mandatory payout today. In the 6th, scratch the alsos, 13 and 14, late pick 5, all turf pick 3. Start with the 6th. Race 7, scratch 2, Que Bella Luna. Scratch 7, Stormy Rouge. 2 and 7 are out. There is an overweight here. Number 6, A Clear Behest, is now 2 pounds over. Race 8 is the grade 3 Autumn Miss. No changes. The 9th, scratch 1, wound up. Scratch 8, Patron Doro. 1 and 8 are out. And then the 10th, program scratch of the 1, Queen Sienna. Mandatory payout on the super high 5. Let's get back to Quigley's Corner as soon as possible. Reminding you that we do have the Coast to Coast Pick 5, combining races from Santa Anita and Gulfstream every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is the last Coast to Coast Pick 5 until December. Duke Matties can be described as nothing other than a legendary handicapper. He's going to take you through the card with Tom Quigley. It's coming up next.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with pro player Duke Matties. Duke is going to be participating today with many other players in the tournament that you're looking at the graphic for right now. It's the $1,000 Santa Anita Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge Qualifier. You put up $1,000. You can play either online at expressbet.com or right here on track at Santa Anita. For every 20 entries we get, we give away a $10,000 Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge seat for next weekend that you can play on track at Del Mar or also on expressbet.com. Yesterday's contest drew in excess of 65 people, and the winning score was 4,882. That was an impressive score, but the third place finisher also got a $10,000 seat. His final score was 3,200. So effectively, start with a $500 bankroll, turn it into $3,000. Not only is that $3,000 yours to keep, but you'll also win a $10,000 Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge tournament for next Friday and Saturday, Breeders' Cup Championship weekend at Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. All right, Duke, we'll talk more about the Breeders' Cup a little bit later, as well as your webinar/seminar. But first things first, we've got 10 races to get through here. Kicking things off in race number 1, as we've been mentioning, with mandatory payouts in all the pools, including the 50-cent early pick 5, which begins in race 1, going a mile and an eighth on the turf course. Maiden Claiming Fillies and Mirrors in for a $62,500 tag. The rails today are at 0 feet. The morning line favorite and the current betting choice at 7-5 is number 4, Rehearsal, at 7-5 on the tote board. Give us your thoughts on race 1, Duke.
Race 1's a little tricky just because we don't know speed-wise. The 3 and the 5, they both could go. So it gets tricky. If one of them gets, loose on the lead, I would like to, know which one would be. But I think the 5 might be a little bit faster than the 3, and that's who I picked. And I'm hoping the 3 sits today. I actually liked Musical Song last time a little bit for Extreme Long Shot. He was 50-1 that day, and it almost wired the field. But I think they might sit today, let the 5 go. I'm hoping the 5 gets loose and just kind of keeps going, because number 4, Rehearsal, just seems to be a horse that does nothing but get in trouble. I mean, he just seems to find it. I don't know what the story is, if it's Rispoli or if it's the horse. He just seems to always run up heels and get in trouble. So I assume he'll be in traffic again. And he's a good horse to, I think, try to beat in here. And I don't really think he'll like a mile and an eighth also. I think he'll flatten out a little bit.
You give a little love to number 7, Authentic Grace, who's currently 7-1 on the tote board. Comes out of that same race as Rehearsal. Why do you like her?
I just think, she's one of the other horses. I don't love Authentic Grace, but I just think I thought she was usable in here. It's just this race is kind of like, you could use, like in my pick 5, I'm probably going to spread deep in this race. It's not going to be a race that I'm going to take a big stand on. But right now, I mean, the 5 is 13-1. So, I mean, I'm going to lean on the 5 here. I just thought Authentic Grace just kind of comes with one run, maybe small, just a chance that maybe it's 7-1. It's another horse I could use in this race.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're traveling 1 mile on the main track. This is for Calbred allowance optional claiming types. Non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the 1 leaves us with a field of 7. Number 5, Speed Grazy, third off the layoff for Aggie Ordonez, is the 7-2 lukewarm morning line favorite. Give us your thoughts on race 2, Duke.
Race 2, I have to go to Brunch and Crunch. Last time from the 1 hole, he kind of just came out of there real slow and got way behind and made a nice little run down towards the rail, which wasn't, I don't think, the place to be at Del Mar, especially in the stretch that day. So I think with the stretch out, maybe he can stalk, get in the clear. There's not a lot of speed in here. If he can stay close and just pounce on, I think, who will be the leader. Bazooka Charlie will be in front, but I don't think Bazooka Charlie can win this race. So I thought maybe just a position play, stalking, pounce, win, and Speed Grazy was my second choice. He just figures in here. Third, like you said, third off the layoff, just an even run type horse. He doesn't really have a great punch, but in this field, I don't think you need to have one.
Let me draw your attention, Duke, to number 2, the Gypsy Cowboy from the Steve Knapp Barn. Steve Knapp Barn has really woken up the last couple of weeks, winning races in bunches. At least from a buyer speed figure standpoint, the Gypsy Cowboy seems to be improving. His last 6 or 7 races, he's earned a better buyer speed figure than the race before. I know you do your own speed figures. Do your speed figures kind of correlate that, or is it not as impressive as what it might look like in the daily racing form?
Oh, yeah, he fits in here. I mean, he would probably be my third choice because he actually beat Speed Grazy last time. So he gets a little bit higher speed figure than Speed Grazy. So he'd be my third choice. And I just don't know about, he doesn't have much speed. And he draws the inside. If he gets shuffled back, that's kind of why I laid off him.
Race number 3, we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. This is another allowance optional claiming race. However, non-winners of 2 other than. We've got a field of 8. The only 3-year-old in the field from the Bob Baffert barn. Number 5, Midland Money, taking blinkers off, is the 3-2 morning line favorite. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here?
Yeah, I think thumbs up. I mean, Midland Money, he shipped out to Saratoga and ran into some bears last time. I just got to think Patch Adams won that race. It's just way too tough of horses, I think. Patch Adams would probably be the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Mile or the Breeders' Cup Sprint if he didn't retire. So just ran into too good of horses. This is like a huge drop in class. He's the controlling speed. Got the leading rider. I just think it's hard to go past. Gets back on Lasix also, where he had his highest buyer speed figure of 103. So I shouldn't say by your speed figure, our speed figure of 103. Bartoldi, I think, is going to appreciate getting back to a sprint. Routed last time, cut back. James Henry will love that angle. He loves the cutback. So I think Bartoldi will be a good horse that'll hit the exacta in here. I'm just pretty much playing cold 5-7. If I was playing tries, I'd throw in the 8 for All Mankind.
Duke, a question about Saratoga, since you mentioned it regarding Midland Money. Of course, one of the most prolific horses running on Breeders' Cup weekend is Sovereignty from the Bill Mott barn, and he's going to take a lot of action in the Breeders' Cup Classic, rightfully so. He's a very talented horse. I know you haven't rolled up your sleeves and really dug into the race. Is he as good as advertised? Are you willing to take a short price? Or are you looking to try and beat him when he's running against other horses like Forever Young and Fierceness and Sierra Leone? Like, where does Sovereignty fit in the mix in the Breeders' Cup Classic, in your opinion?
He fits very well. I mean, he's probably the best 3-year-old we've seen in a long time. I mean, I'm not sure, who runs the way he does. I mean, it seems like he's like a car. You can steer him in, you steer him out. He just can do it all. It's a shame we didn't see him win the Triple Crown.
Of course.
He should have won the Triple Crown. I don't know why they were so against the Preakness, but we got to get guys that back in the, because that's what the public wants. The public wants a Triple Crown.
Of course.
And then we
bring
come
more
into
excitement to the Breeders' Cup.
And then we got a Breeders' Cup, with him. It just makes it much more enjoyable to watch, and the public would love to see that. So.
Be an interesting race, that's for sure. That's a really dynamite race on Saturday, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Race number 4 begins the 50-cent middle. Pick 4 on today's 10-race card. We're back on the turf course. 1 mile the distance. Maiden special weight 2-year-old filly. Scratch the original morning line favorite, number 4, Tis Grace. That means likely that the morning line favorite will be on the bottom, number 7, Wild Like the West. Currently 3-1 on the morning line, likely to go lower. 6 ways you can go here, Duke. Which way you going and why?
Yeah, I went with Wild Like the West. I just think he's got a big pace advantage in here. His pace figures are way faster early than anybody that's in this race, and I think he's just going to get a lonesome lead. And as long as he takes to the grass, should be fine. I mean, speed's been holding on this turf course this year pretty well in the fall here, so it looks like he's just the one to beat in here. I don't really have a great second choice in here. I think I went with the 1. I watched a workout on the 1. He worked with Darlin Duchess on October 18th. I thought it was a very nice work. Got left last time. Maybe just slight improvement. Maybe he could stay a little closer. Not thrilled with the rider, but he likes to send everything. So I'm not sure what he'll do with this one. But anyway, that's just my second choice.
Duke, a question for you. And I know you look at everything when you're analyzing any races, being a pro player, but how important in these maiden 2-year-old races is pedigree, particularly as it relates to turf? Do you place a big emphasis on it? Not that much of an emphasis? These are relatively lightly raced 2-year-old fillies, but where does pedigree fit into your arsenal overall? Not maybe this race specifically, but overall.
I like it in maiden races. This is kind of the race I would use it the most, especially since the 7's never run on the grass before. So you have to look. There's a brother or sister that ran decent on the grass named Atomic Age. That one was by Justify. This one's by Into Mischief. So I don't think that matters as much. When you have that good of sires, I don't think it comes into play. They're either 12% or 17%. They're always in that range. But I try to tend to look more on the mother side when I'm looking at breeding. I want to go to the mother and see if they've produced any winners on the grass. I think that's way more important than the sire.
Completely agree. Race number 5 begins the $2 pick 6, as you see on the screen. Mandatory payouts in all pools today, including the pick 6. I'm not sure anyone's going to hit all 6. It might pay 5 out of 6. Someone might scoop the whole pool having 5. We kick things off in race number 5, sprinting the abbreviated sprint distance of 5.5 furlongs on the main track. $5,000 claimers, a number of scratches in here. 4 of them are program scratches. 1, 12, 13, and 14 have been declared out of the race already. The most recent scratch is number 8, Momo's Kiddo. The morning line favorite, another lukewarm favorite at 7-2 is number 4, Howbeit. Likes to win races, but now in for 5,000. We need some guidance here, Duke. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, well, this race, I have my picks on the board, but this race, I will be spreading if I play a pick 6. This is not the race you want to try and use 1 or 2 in.
You got a 12-1 right on top.
Yeah, I'm kind of reaching a little bit with Street Talker. I think Street Talker's got a little bit of a pace advantage, and what I'm hoping for is that he just, again, I've talked a lot about pace today already, and I'm hoping this horse is the fastest and he makes the lead today because he hasn't made the lead in a while. And when horses make the lead, sometimes they just run off and hide.
Particularly at this level.
Yeah, when you get cheap races for 5,000, I mean, you want the horses that are out in front. So I took a shot with Street Talker. He was a little bit against the track last time too at Los Alamitos. If you watch Los Alamitos in general, the inside is never very good, especially in the stretch. So that horse was down towards the rail. My second choice is probably an obvious one. It's Morello, number 9. He just seems to fit in here. He comes from behind, and if the race falls apart, he's definitely I think he's the best closer in here. But I wouldn't be afraid to use horses like Carroll's Comic from the rail. I think has back speed figures that fit in here, and even Howbeit I think has a chance, even though I think he's a little bit of a negative trainer move. There's just a lot of angles in this race that I think if you're playing a pick 6, I would spread.
Duke, let me ask you a question about a horse I've been chasing all year long. Specifically, it's number 6, Blue Cheese Olive. Blue Cheese Olive always works well in the morning. Perhaps he's a morning glory, but there are some things today to like about him. First of all, he switches over to jockey Antonio Fresu, who wins races in bunches for trainer Steve Knapp. He has 2 career wins. Both of them happened here, right here at Santa Anita. And although he's 0 for 4 at this distance of 5.5 furlongs, he does have 3 second-place finishes. Now, from a pace standpoint and maybe from a final figure standpoint, do you give any look to Blue Cheese Olive?
I do. He seems like being in and outer. I just don't know what makes him run good at times. I mean, his race 3 back, I think, is probably one of the best races the horses have in here. So if he can get back to that, and like you said, with the rider change, Knapp's starting to do better. Like you said, I think he's probably a used to in a spread pick 6.
Race number 6 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3. That is a wager that Duke will be playing. The $3 all turf pick 3. We'll talk about that in a moment, but both wagers kick off in race number 6, bringing 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course. This race is for maiden special weight Calbred 2-year-olds. We've got a full field of 12 after the scratches or declarations of both 13 and 14 will not compete. Take note, number 12, Joey Where to Go as a first-time gelding. The morning line favorite, number 9, Cal's Goal at 3-1. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Duke, you wanted to show a replay for a runner who has 1 career start in this field, and that runner would be specifically number 8, Flash of Lightning from the Richie Baltus barn. That 1 start came going 5 furlongs down at Delmar in early September. When we watch this replay, we're going to watch the runner breaking from post position number 5. That will be Flash of Lightning. And you can see, although it was a field of 10, he got bet down to 9-2 this particular afternoon on debut. You'll understand why Duke wanted to show this replay when we watch it in its entirety. So let's listen to Larry Comas describe the action back on September 1st and watch the runner breaking from post position number 5, which will be Flash of Lightning.
They're off. Pepper Shaker sent hard from the far outside. Wiki Kane from the rail. It's these two right out together for the lead. Eye of the Smiley is away running in third, just in behind them. Rostron came out in fourth. Then it's Debbie's getting hot on the inside in fifth. Joey Where'd It Go is next. Then comes Celtic Rhythm. Break of another 2 back to Balaza. Flash of Lightning is next. And far back at the end is the Great G. Racing for the far turn. And it is Wiki Kane on top. Wiki Kane opens up the lead by 2.5. Eye of the Smiley is second. Pepper Shaker starts to backpedal on the outside, passed by Debbie's Getting Hot and Rostron, and they're into the stretch, and it's Wiki Kane. Wiki Kane coming into the final furlong, 3 lengths in front. Eye of the Smiley is second. Debbie's Getting Hot is third. Wiki Kane and Seraphine Carmona well clear. Wiki Kane comes home a 5-length winner over Eye of the Smiley.
Duke, as we watch the gallop out, there's our friend number 5, Flash of Lightning, coming up the rail on the gallop out and basically galloping out in front. That did nobody that good and that particular afternoon. But today, the extra distance of 6.5 furlongs should fit right into his wheelhouse. I have a feeling you like Flash of Lightning on top in this race.
Yeah, I mean, just watch that replay. Gets an extra furlong and a half.
Jockey switch.
I know you get Fresu instead of Lascano. I mean,
Baltus does better second time out.
I'm hoping we get 3 or 4 to 1.
Not after the seminar.
We're not getting 6, that's for sure. But I mean, it is what it is. We got to give people winners, and I think this horse is a really good play in here, and I had to show that replay
and you'll be using him in the $3 all turf pick 3 for sure.
Yeah, and I love that wager for all you out there. I mean, these $3 pick 3s, get involved. They are huge overlays. They are
low takeout.
They are the greatest wagers we have going right now.
Tough for CAWs to get involved.
Exactly. They can't do $3 denominations. They need 50 cents. So
Flash of Lightning, like on top. You also like a number 10, Almost There, another second-time starter, also from the Ryan Hansen barn, who finished a good second at a big price.
Yeah, there's been some horses that have improved out of the race, even though none of them have hit the board, which is kind of strange. There's been 4 or 5 horses run out of that race, and they've all improved their speed figures, which is interesting to me. And it's a 2-year-old, so you know they can improve. And I think this horse, if he improves just a little bit, he's solid in here, and he's got tactical speed. And he didn't quit once the horse passed him last time. He just kind of dug in for second, which I like.
We've got another full field in race number 7, which begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting 5.5 furlongs the main track. Maiden claiming fillies and mares in for a $12,500 tag. 2 scratches. Scratch the 2 and the 7. The morning line favorite, number 10. She's a 1 of 1 who's taking blinkers off for trainer Peter Miller. Peter Miller kind of been quiet the last couple of months. 5-2 on the morning line here. What say you in race 7, Duke?
Yeah, that's why I kind of took this shot against. I mean, not against, but I didn't pick the 10 on top because Peter's been a little bit cold, and you know he's probably getting ready for his Del Mar meet, which he probably is geared up for because he lives down that way. And I took a shot with the 11 free nomination. This horse is kind
15-1.
This horse is kind of an in and outer too, but 2 back. If you look the way free nomination ran at Los Al, that race is a winning race here. The horse got a 57 figure. And
on your sheets,
on mine, yeah. Sorry, this is not a buyer number. So 57 for us is the highest by quite a bit in this race, at least 5 points, and 5.5 furlongs. Got an outside post. I think can stalk, pounce. I think it just looks like kind of horse that is going to be an overlay. Won't take money because of the jock, and I'm not afraid of that. So again, he's no single. I'm not singling free nomination, but I'm taking a shot for the price.
Race number 8 begins the $3 late pick 3. This is our feature race on today's card. The Grade 3 Autumn Mistakes, going 1 mile on the turf course for 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 9. Morning line favorite, fresh off a victory for the exciting partnership of Little Red Feather. Slick, 2-1 on the morning line. However, Duke, this is another turf race, so we want to watch a replay. And specifically, we want to watch a replay for number 6, Take a Breath. Take a Breath's last effort was at San Indy here on opening weekend, specifically on September 28th, and went off as the 9-5 favorite in the same race that Slick won last time out. But Take a Breath here is going to break from post position number 4 as they turn for home. It almost looks like he's going to win by open lengths, but unfortunately, Hector Barrios gets the rail closed on him. Let's watch the replay. Listen to Frank Miramai describe the action. Watch number 4, Take a Breath, in this replay.
And they're off. Atia broke inward, but did break very alertly. On the inside here, Slick. Edge of Molly is close up in the early going, as is Miss Artois, who's 4 wide, but quick with those white blinkers, moving up now to battle for the lead. Ribbons is caught 5 wide into the first turn. She's followed by Cat the Confidant, who settles in mid-pack on the inside of Hey Lil Lady, with Resolve racing in between those two, 7 lengths off the pace as the field rounds the clubhouse turn. Take a Breath is next. Hey Lil Lady is next. The 2 trailers at the back of the field are Hey Jesse and Lila is at the back. So it's Atia taking them on to the backstretch, prompted by Miss Artois in second. Then comes Edge of Molly in third as they head toward the half-mile pole. Outside of her, it's Slick, very comfortable at this stage, 4 lengths off the lead. Ribbons is next, racing side by side with Cat the Confidant in the green, who's down at the rail. It's another 2 lengths back to Take a Breath. Hey Lil Lady is 3 deep into the far turn, and in between those two comes Resolve, now 10 lengths off them. At the back of the field, Lila and Hey Jesse continues to trail. They're midway on the far turn. Atia has been the controlling speed. Starts to scamper away now. Edge of Molly moving through along the inside. Miss Artois next. Ribbons trying to rev up while very wide. Inside of her comes Slick. There's 1 furlong to go. Atia, Edge of Molly pounces on her at the 8th pole and up to take the lead. Down at the rail, Take a Breath is also coming with a swift run. And now Slick sit down for the drive. And Slick comes to tackle Edge of Molly. Slick on the outsides in front. It will be Slick to score by 2. Edge of Molly.
Duke, talk about a picture saying 1,000 words. The trouble line in the daily racing form doesn't do that trip justice. Unfortunately, Hector Barrios encountered all sorts of trouble as they entered the lane. He's going to be I should say she's going to be overlooked today because of that somewhat hidden trouble, but it's not hidden on the replay.
No, you couldn't hide that one. I mean, that was pretty bad there. As you could see, Take a Breath was almost even or maybe even ahead of Slick when that trouble happened and was gaining fast. So, I mean, 2-1 on Slick, 5-1 on Take a Breath. It's a no-brainer in my mind. I think you have to go with Take a Breath in here.
And it's interesting, Take a Breath on debut in North America after transferring over here in Great Britain. The connections immediately put her in the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks. She ran admirably that day. So you know the connections like her a lot. Again, Take a Breath, somewhat of a hidden play, and also part of the $3 All-Turf Pick 3 we've been talking about that you should definitely get involved with today. Race number 9, another wager you should get involved with, the $5 late daily double. It begins in race number 9, sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. Starter optional claiming types. We've got a field of 8 after 2 scratches. Scratch the 1 and the 8. Morning line favorite is going to be, let's see here, one of the horses is going to be the favorite. Let's say it's going to be number 4. Hard to figure from the Ron Ellis barn. Ron Ellis running a number of runners on today's card. How'd you see race 9, Duke?
I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted to see Wound Up run against some horses that he could beat like he was earlier in the year. And that's kind of disappointing that he scratched, but maybe we'll wait for another day for Wound Up. I like the 10 here. I just think with Wound Up out, Jerry Spirit is just going to be in a perfect position, if not on the lead. He's got the speed figures, loves Santa Anita, 3 wins out of 4 starts at Santa Anita. I just think he's in a perfect post, perfect position, in the right field. I think there's some horses in here that you can bet against. I don't like Hard to Figure away from Baffert. Those horses never seem to work out. Those non-winners at 2s going open off claim from Baffert. I think I'm totally against that horse. Taking a shot with Sharp as attack is my second choice. Just the fact that he ran second on the dirt, 2 back, and he seems like he's going okay. Got into a speed duel last time on the turf, and I just think he'd be my second choice. But I really like Jerry Spirit in here.
Talking about Antonio Fresu, take a look at Duke's second selection in the race, number 7, Sharp as attack. If you have the daily racing form past performances, when he and Hector Palma team up, they win at a 35% win clip, and you can see the time that the last time Antonio Fresu rode Sharp as attack for a different barn, he emerged victorious. That race was way back in February of 2024. But anytime Antonio Fresu rides for Hector Palma, you got to take a second and a third look at any of those runners. Race number 10 closes out the day, closes out the week, closes out the meet. Keep in mind, live racing resumes in Southern California this coming Thursday, the day before the first day of the Breeders' Cup World Championship events down at Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. First post will be 12:30 on Thursday. And of course, we'll return here to Santa Anita, the great race place, the day after Christmas, the traditional opening day on December 26th. But in race 10 today, we've got $1 super high five wagering with a mandatory payout. Coming down the hillside turf course, this race is for fillies and mares, allows optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Program scratch of the 1 still leaves us with a full field of 11. Number 3, Yellow Sundress is the 3-1 morning line favorite. We want to watch Yellow Sundress's last effort. It was right here at Santa Anita, again on opening weekend of the autumn meet. She was the 5-2 betting choice this particular afternoon, sprinting 6 furlongs on the flat turf course. Let's watch her break from post position number 7, wearing saddlecloth number 7, and listen to Frank Miramati describe the action and watch Yellow Sundress perform back on September 28th.
And they're off. Ariri was off slowly. Sunglow, very quick away from the gate, opens up a couple of lengths with Dare to Fly second in the early stages. Here's Princesa Moche moving up along the inside to claim third. The Wild Grazer is a joint fourth, passed now by Invincible Mali, followed by Madonna of Laredo. Yellow Sundress is third last in front of Tight Squeeze and Ariri. They have less than a half mile to go, and Sunglow to catch. Sunglow leads at a length and a half. Dare to Fly is in second. Then Princesa Moche, Invincible Molly on the outside fourth. Followed by the Wild Grazer, Yellow Sundress. Madonna of Laredo is 8 lengths off the lead, 2 clear of Tight Squeeze, and Ariri. A quarter of a mile to go for Sunglow, who's been the controlling speed. Sunglow turns for home with a length and a half advantage on Dare to Fly, set down in second. Here's Yellow Sundress starting to finish up nicely in the center of the course, but Sunglow has plenty left in the tank, and it's Sunglow in a romp. Sunglow coast to coast.
Duke, this was a different kind of evaluation of the video replay we just watched. Sure, Yellow Sundress had some subtle trouble, and as you watched the gallop out, she didn't make a big impact. But the real reason for showing the replay was she didn't have much pace to run at. 22.78 was the opening quarter mile, 45.43. Those are not blazing fractions, sprinting 6 furlongs on the flat turf course. If she gets more pace today, she could be even more dangerous than what we just saw in the replay.
Yeah, I took her because of the reasons you said. I mean, the pace was slow. She was the furthest back of the three that are running in this race, Dare to Fly, and I think it was the Wild Grazer was the other one. She was the furthest back and made the most ground. She was the widest too. So with all those factors, I just figure you have to take her on top here, as long as she probably gets a little overbet in here, unfortunately, picking up JJ Hernandez. But you know what? A winner's a winner. Let's just take it and run. Shamrockin' was my second choice. If you notice, 2 back, she ran 5 furlongs at Del Mar and was closing. She was way, way back in that race. Not a lot of pace in that race for a 5 furlong turf race at Del Mar either. And I think very good horse at 20-1 to use underneath.
Duke, we showed the replays, the video replays for races 6, 8, and 10. The runners you like in those particular races are Flash of Lightning, also Take a Breath, and then, of course, Yellow Sundress, who we just saw. Would you be so brave as to maybe put forth a $15 straight all turf pick 3 just for the heck of it?
That'd be a great bet. I mean, not usually what I would do in that wager, but I think what people should do today in that wager is single all those, single, like, let's say
3 different tickets.
Single 3 different tickets. Put Flash of Lightning as a single, and then use other horses in the other 2 races and do the same thing. Single, Take a Breath, and do the same thing, and then single the horse in the last, the 3 Yellow Sundress.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of plans, Duke, again, keep in mind, dukespicks.com, Breeders' Cup Seminar on Thursday evening, October 30th, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Go to dukespicks.com today, register, and make sure you're part of that very interesting and unique seminar where it's going to be very much a strategic session, not just giving out handicapping information, but also wagering information as well. I'll be part of that as well. Looking forward to that on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Also, 2 other wagers to keep in mind. We haven't touched upon them, but you know what they are. The $1 coast-to-coast pick 5, $1 minimum, low 15% takeout, combining races from both Gulfstream Park and San Anita. That wager, the coast-to-coast pick 5, begins with Gulfstream Park, race 7, 1:05 p.m. Pacific time, and also the $1 Sunset 6. Did you see yesterday's results? One winning ticket paid $22,000. All you got to do is bet $1, low takeout, last 3 races from Gulfstream Park, and the last 3 races at San Anita. Duke, want to wish you nothing but luck today. Not only playing the races, but also playing in the BCBC tournament. I'm sure I'll see you down at Del Mar Breeders' Cup weekend.
Thanks, Tom. You're always the best at this, and you make it easy on me. So you're a great host. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Duke. Thanks to all of you for watching as well. This seminar wouldn't exist without your participation and watching. Hope you enjoyed it all meet long. I certainly did, that's for sure. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Enjoy all the on-track festivities. If you're here, if you're off track, get involved because it's going to be a great day of racing. We'll do it all again on December 26th. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon. Welcome to closing day at Santa Anita Park. Mandatory payouts in all pools. Track is fast, turf is firm. Here are the changes. Nothing new to report at this stage. In the first, no scratches or jockey changes. In the second, scratch number 1, Austonian. Number 1, Austonian, scratched out of race number 2. In the third, blinkers off, number 5, noted. Fourth race starts a middle pick 4, scratch 2, Tis Grace. In the fifth, started the pick 6, scratch number 8, Momo's Kiddo, in addition to the program scratches of 1, 12, 13, and 14. Take out the 8 as well. Mandatory payout in the pick 6, sixth race, scratch the also eligibles 13 and 14. All turf pick 3 starts in addition to the late pick 5. Race 7, scratch 2, Que Bella Luna. Scratch 7, Stormy Rouge. Overweight 6, A Clear Behest, 2 pounds over. 8th is the Autumn Miss. No changes. In the 9th, late double begins. Scratch 1, Wound Up. Scratch 8, Patron Doro. And in the 10th, scratch 1, Queen Sienna. Mandatory payout in the Super High 5. Enjoy the cultural activities. Welcome to the continuation of Japan Family Weekend. And we still have the Pumpkin Patch and Fall Fun Fest going on today. And our furry friends from SoCal Wiener Fest are back for Halloweener Fest. Mandatory payouts, all pools, coast to coast, pick 5 between Gulfstream and Santa Anita offered as well. Enjoy your day. We're 26 minutes away from race 1 at 1 p.m.